Next, we're going to be talking to Martyn about our Retro Revival Lap-Tote, which is our bag sew-along that usually runs over 2 months.
As Cassie said, we have Martyn. He's here to talk about the Retro Revival. He's our last special guest for the sew-along segment. So, as Cassie said as well, this is the Retro Revival bag sew-along. It's a 2-monthly sew-along. It goes for 2 months. It finishes on the 5th of May. So we're just going to have a chat to Martyn about this. So, Martyn.
Hello.
How did you find making this design?
I actually really love this design. I was a little bit worried that it was just too busy, but everyone seems to be enjoying making it, so that's good. We've seen some designs come through already, which is amazing. I just love the way people just interpret these designs with their own fabrication and colours, and I was sort of influenced there by this retro 70s thing which was in my head.
I think you achieved it.
Which is now gone. Growing up, it was sort of like a growing up colour scheme. It really was there, so that was quite nice to revisit that. So we've made this to a certain size because we didn't want to go too heavy with a bag which is cloth for a laptop, which is so fragile. But this seems to be quite adequate. It's very thick. If you want to pad it out more through the seams, then just go ahead and do that. I mean, there's nothing stopping anyone from doing that. There was also there's some coasters that go with it too. And that was it sort of tested our colour scheme really, which was quite fun. And I was a little bit worried that we perhaps had too much going on with zips and pockets, that people might be turned off about that. So we made an option of having a plain panel up here and not having the curved zip panel there. So that could be just a plain panel, which would then in turn, if you didn't want to put a flap on it, can just make a laptop sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's versatile. I saw one lady though; she's made it into a handbag.
I did see that.
Which was really, really great. You've got 3 pockets across the back, and in the 6x10, that's great. But the smaller size, these might be a little bit narrow for. It'd be ideal for putting a phone or ideal
Well, you
for
could
putting
just,
a mouse.
instead of stitching both seams down, you could just stitch
Stitch down
one
the
down,
middle.
or you could stitch down the middle.
Or you stitch across here and down through here,
Yeah.
and you've got
Just
2
have
bigger
two.
pockets.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's quite. Yeah, it is. It's very versatile. So.
It's a good size for your phone or your chargers or your glasses case.
Even your mouse, you could keep your mouse
yes.
in here, or your cords.
Yep. That goes all the way to the seam. For me, that's power pack for me, because I think that mouse will actually slip down on the side there. I'm in the process of making another one at the moment of different colourways, and it's just the sleeve. It doesn't have the flap. Although I am thinking of making 4 of the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the flaps and making it so as a wrap to go inside the case for my laptop to go inside that for just a bit more protection.
Yep.
And what size does this come in?
It only comes in the 6x10 and the 8x8, and you can use 5x7 files within that 8x8 to reduce wastage of stabilizer. We haven't gone up to the 17.3 laptop. It's just a little bit too big, but I do know that some people have been playing with the files and they are going to achieve that themselves.
Yep.
We just have to be looking at for safety, and also we've got to be liable for what we produce.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's really quite good. But no, it's a fun project. Really enjoyed doing it there, and I'm amazed at some of the things that we've seen already. It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bag sew-along, especially, as we said, it does go for longer. It goes for longer because often these bag sew-alongs are a bit more in depth. They have I would say they're probably more intermediate.
Intermediate to senior.
Intermediate to senior level.
And I try and put something new, a new technique in each one. I just try and do something, nothing too difficult. We pan it out in our notes, and so as you get step-by-step instruction.
Everything is always achievable.
Yes,
you just
absolutely.
have to take it slow and steady, and you'll always be able to achieve the final results.
The amount of people that have mastered curved corners on our projects through this group is just amazing.
Yeah.
So pleased with everybody. It really is. It's
What's
quite
your great tip for doing that?
Zipper foot.
We love the zipper foot.
And old zipper foot, the sliding zipper foot more so than the stationary ones that just click on. I use my old Elna zip foot. I love it. Yeah, and everyone's got a version of that from their past anyway. So that's still available too.
Yeah.
That's still available. So no, I love it. Love this project. Can't wait to see more.
So I do have one last question because you did mention that every bag so long we like to put in a new technique or something new for the customers to learn. Is it the curved corners in this one, or is it the method to put the zip in?
It's the method to put the zip in because it's basically we've actually finished these two seams and then we basically top stitch our zip in. But it's also I've added a little extra of putting the actual zip tabs. So is that the zip is not in the seam, it's been finished back from the seam and it's got little covers on it, so is that you don't have bulk to deal with when you're stitching.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Like the other sew-alongs, we have some more inspirational photos that we've taken out from the sew-along group, and so as we said, this is a 2-monthly sew-along, so these are just some of the entries so far. And this one is by Sonia April. This is a beautiful version of this bag.
It's stunning.
And the fabric is nice as well. This is a Tula.
It is a Tula, and it's I think it's probably an older Tula because I've got a piece of that as well in my stash.
Collecting?
No, I just remember I made a comment to Sonia when she put it up on our Facebook page that it may go missing if it comes my way.
There could be a laptop
It could
bag
be a
theft.
laptop
Yeah.
theft, exactly.
Has Sonia used, it's a bit hard to see from this photo, but on her zip, you can kind of see the printed fabric poking through.
And that's that there. It's
So
very
that
would
hard
be
to,
the
it's
lining?
just it's the lining that does, it's very hard to get that to roll
But
in.
sometimes
I actually really
prefer
like it.
Yes, so do
Yeah, it
I,
looks
yeah.
like a piping.
It looks like a piping,
That's what I was going to say. It's hard to see from the photo, but it does look like she's added it as a piping.
So
So
when we do our round placemats, when we put our lining on the back of them, quite often you've got that fine edge of a colour showing through because it's lining and it hasn't been stabilised. So it gives a faux piping look.
Yeah.
So that is Sonia's submission. So thanks, Sonia. We love that bag. And then the next one we have is a beautiful pastel version by Marilyn Adcock.
That's beautiful.
It is lovely.
I
Looks like a
am
sunset.
biased towards this colorway because I love, yes, it does look like a sunset. This looks like, I'm not sure what fabric
She's
this
used
is.
our
but-
zippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
That's
sweet
beautiful.
pea zippers. It's just really pretty in the pastel colours.
I think it's probably pinker than it looks in real life, but it's rather beautiful. And I was thinking when the first time I saw it, I thought to myself, "Oh, Katie would like that."
I was going to say that about one of the butterflies as well. Butterfly
It's a
collections.
very Katie-esque bag.
Yeah.
I love this bag because as I said, I love the pink and purples for the sunset, but I think adding in that blue satin stitch makes everything stand out really well. And again, you can use whatever hardware you like or make your own straps. But what are these?
These are
principal?
lobsters. Yeah,
So
they're really lovely. Yeah.
Marilyn's added the lobsters to this one.
I love the way Emma, when she does her designs and what have you, she really does give you lots of room to play with your own colours, and I love the way that the seams match up in areas and they don't in others. And I really, really like the look of this. I really, really do.
So that's a good point as well. These bag sew-alongs are kind of a collaborative effort between Martyn and Emma. So Martyn's I would say you're one of our sewers, but you're also our educator.
Yeah.
Martyn has a lot of experience, and you've probably seen from a lot of the videos that he's in that we have. He has a lot of good tips. So he worked really closely with Emma, our designer. She's another one of our designer digitizers. She's been here for a while as well. They worked together to put this design together. So
I've done
Martyn,
some with Silvana as well.
Oh, yeah, Silvana.
Silvana as well. So it's Emma and Silvana, and then hopefully I'll get to do one with Nadia at some stage as well.
It's a very collaborative.
It's a collaborative. So I make the shapes.
Yes.
Because I'm a commercial pattern maker by trade. So I make the shapes, and then we see how we can do this in the embroidery machine.
Yeah, how can you translate from
Yep.
a pattern that would be traditionally a sewing pattern to an embroidery design?
Yeah, that's why we have to chop up our panels. We try and disguise that. So it's fun.
So that's just another interesting fact about the sew-along. And then one of the last photos that we've pulled out from the Facebook group is a submission from Diane Jeffrey. We also spoke about Diane's submission for the
Butterfly.
the hexagon for the main sew-along, but she's been busy. She's made another she's made the Retro Revival in a completely different colourway.
Blues and blacks, that's
blues,
gorgeous.
blacks and greens. This looks amazing.
I would love to have a fish through Diane's stash because she's got some amazing fabrics.
I feel like her home decor would be beautiful as well.
Yeah.
I just get that vibe from what she posted.
It's just it's a lovely rendition of his design. It really is. Did you say whether it was what size it was? This is not a handbag size, is it?
I don't know if Diane was, I could be wrong, but was Diane the one who made the handbag?
I'm not sure, but because you see it sitting on the seat, it looks like it's actually smaller than this.
Yeah.
Yes, but it does turn into a beautiful handbag. So, yeah, I love the colours of that, though.
Yeah, I really love the how they all have these 3 satin stitches down the side, but they just really stand out against the black.
Yeah.
I think it was really smart to use the black in some places, and it brings out the quilting embroidery on the side, which kind of looks like a feathery palm to me, and then it looks like she might have even used palm fabric.
That's
in
lovely.
The green,
yes,
maybe?
It's very well. Palms or
even
swirls.
paint strokes.
It looks like
Paint
it's
strokes?
very hard. It's very hard to tell what it is, but it looks lovely. It's got a lovely feel about it. It really does. It has sort of like midnight ocean type thing. I quite like that. Very nice. Yes.
So again, this sew along continues until the 5th of May. We actually have Martyn will be back on your screens on the 2nd of April.
Yeah.
So that we'll have more information about that posted later on in the group and on our probably in our newsletter. But Martyn and Annette will be having a live where they talk about this project in more detail, probably about more of the different options that you can make, how you can tweak it to your own taste as well. And then Annette will probably have some more samples of what she's done. And I know you're working on one.
I better get my skates on.
You better get your skates on because you have until the 2nd of April.
Which is not far.
No. So that will be a live. So just keep tuning. And so the main purpose of that live actually is if in between now and the live you have any questions you'd like to ask Martyn about this bag.
Yep.
I'm sure people might have other questions they'd like to ask you about other things.
Whatever they like.
But, well, keep it to the bag.
Please.
Keep it to the bag, please. And so any questions in relation to what Martyn liked about this bag, some tips, if you have any questions about if you're maybe in the process of making this bag and you might have if you're having any troubles, that would be a really good time to make a note and hopefully your question will get asked during that live. But thank you, Martyn, for joining. It was very good, very helpful.
See you next week.
See you next week.